ready? Welcome to the October 11th, 2022 Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting for the City of Fayetteville, Tennessee. We will start with a prayer by Alderman Small. We will do our pledge, and then we'll do our adoption of our agenda. Everybody stand, please.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing us thus far in this day. We give you all the praise and all the glory. We ask, Lord, that you be with us tonight as we conduct the city's business. Help us, Lord, to make the best decisions that we know how. We thank you, Lord, for bringing all the city workers through this day safely. And we ask for these and all blessings in the name of Jesus. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. You have your agenda. Does anybody have any changes or additions?
I'd like to ask, Mayor, that we make an addition to the agenda. There's a proclamation that I failed to call the city office to ask to be read tonight. If we could add that item.
All right. We have a motion to that. That's your motion?
That's a motion.
I have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Pam, call the roll, please.
Mr. Bryant?
Aye.
Ms. Allen? Aye. Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Alderman?
Aye.
Ms. Hartman?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
That item will be added. Do we have anything else?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we remove item H from the agenda.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Bryant. Any discussion?
What item was that? I'm sorry.
H.
H.
Pam, call the roll, please.
Ms. Allen?
No.
Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Alderman?
Aye.
Ms. Hartman?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
No.
Mr. Bryant?
Aye.
All right, the item passed. We'll set that agenda. We'll remove H. We'll add O for the proclamation. Next, we have the regular meeting minutes from September 13, 2022. Does anybody have any additions, deletions, corrections? If not, those will stand into records. Before we do our reports, we'll do an oath of office. I'll ask firefighter Mariah Smith excuse me, to come forward, and we'll do an oath of office. If you face the camera, please, raise your right hand. I, Mariah Smith, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and that of the state of Tennessee,
and that of the state of Tennessee,
that I will obey the laws and ordinances of the city of Fayetteville,
that I will obey the laws and ordinances of the city of Fayetteville,
that I will protect the life and property of its citizens,
that I will protect the life and property of its citizens,
and I will familiarize myself
and that I will familiarize myself
with and be obedient to the rules and regulations,
with and be obedient to the rules and regulations,
and will faithfully serve the city of Fayetteville
and will faithfully serve the city of Fayetteville
in the discharge of my duties
in the discharge of my duties
as a member of the Fayetteville Fire Department,
as a member of the Fayetteville Fire Department,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. Welcome. Just hold that. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Next, we go to our reports. We have Fayetteville Public Utilities. Mr. Dye had a death in the family and has a funeral he's at the moment. We ask you to keep his family in your prayers. We have Ms. Kim Posey in his place to give his report.
Good evening. Our Water and Wastewater Department, we connected several new services in the month of September. We also repaired 2 fire hydrants and 3 leaks. And in the gas department, we completed our annual leak survey. Nothing was found that required immediate attention. We had 15 applications for new gas services in the month of September, and we rotated 232 gas meters. In the electric department, we completed 29 new services and processed 70 pole changes in the month of September. The line has been installed on Curtis Askins Boulevard. We are retiring the 3-phase line on Beard Mill Road for the TDOT Bridge project. The tree trimmers are working in the Mulberry area. And in the telecom department, we continue to connect new internet services. We're waiting for our notice to proceed on the rural broadband grant that we recently received. Mr. Dye received a call from TECA, which is the Tennessee Electric Cooperative Association, our statewide organization, requesting assistance in the wake of Hurricane Ian, and we sent 7 crew members on September the 29th. The damage to those areas were not as severe as anticipated, so the men returned safely a little sooner than we expected. We're working with TVA to provide a mobile food pantry to benefit our community through Hands of Mercy, and that's coming up in November. And that's our report, Mayor.
Can you give a little bit more explanation on that rural broadband grant that FPU just received? It was in the paper this morning, awarded almost $8.9 million, and then there's a match from FPU.
Yes, sir.
That will help provide more broadband service in the northeast part of the county.
It'll be the northeast and down to the southeast as well, that area of the county.
380 miles or something like that.
I believe that's right, yes, sir.
Okay. Any questions of Ms. Posey? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll go to our standing committee reports. We'll start with Fire Department, Mr. Kimbrough.
Good evening. For the month of September, the fire department responded to 100 calls for service, 72 of them being EMS runs. We had 2 fires, 1 hazardous material incident, and that'd be my report for the month.
Any questions of Mr. Kimbrough?
Thank you.
Thank you. We go to Police Department, Mr. Casillas.
For the month of September, we had 135 incidents, 62 arrests, 45 traffic crashes, 59 traffic citations, and 1,267 activity events. That'll be my report.
Any questions of Mr. Casillas? Thank you, sir. We go to the Finance Department, Ms. Jamie Owen.
Okay, for their local sales tax, the current month we've received $325,462. Year to date for the current year, we're at $637,789, which is $97,109 above where we were last year. To budget of $3,200,000, we're at 19.93%. For our occupancy tax, for the current month, we're at $24,000. And then year to date of our current year, we're at $44,362, which is $6,421 above where we were this time last year. And to a budget of $160,000, we're at 27.73%.
Any questions of Ms. Owen? Thank you. We go to Recreation Department, Mr. Brian Carter.
Good evening. Our senior fishing rodeo will be on Saturday at 8 a.m. October the 22nd of this year. Touch a Truck and Treat will be at Stonebridge Park on October the 27th, and it will last from 5 until 7. Our Bright Lights and Festive Night celebration will be December. It's upcoming December, and it'll be at 6 p.m. and we are taking applications for that. Christmas Parade will be on December the 3rd, 2022 at 5 p.m. The theme will be Christmas Morning Memories. The current time, we're still waiting for the ground to loosen up just a little bit and work on our soccer net so we can start getting that constructed. Our soccer league, all our soccer leagues are finished at this time. Vandalism at parks. Here recently, probably within the past 2 or 3 months, vandalism has been on the rise at some of our parks. Just over the weekend, had one of our dugouts that we had 3 holes kicked into it. And we're looking for solutions to see if we can solve the problems with this. It seems like it's just growing, so we're trying to figure out what we need to do to put a halt to it or slow it down. And damage at S.J. King Park, we're still working on getting that completed. Lee Building parking lot, we have obtained permission to get that done, use it. And it will be free. The only thing we'll have to do is get insurance, liability insurance put over that, so we can use that. And then pool painting, waiting on the weather to get a little bit cooler, get our guys in so we can get that taken care of. And that's my report.
Sounds good. Any questions, Mr. Carter?
Where are we at on Don Davis' electrical work?
They're inserting the conduit, trenching, and they have the 4 upper fields almost done with that. So, and then they will continue on and go to the 2 smaller fields.
And once they get the underground work done, they work inside the equipment all will be installed after the underground work's through.
Yes, after that, once they get those installed, then
Right.
they'll start running a line, and then they'll work on the platform so they can put the transformer in.
Is there a timeline on when they think they'll finish it all?
Not at this time, depending on weather and equipment and materials when they can get those in. So it's,
Okay.
hopefully it will be within, I would say hopefully within 45 to 60 days.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Carter. Public Works, Mr. Eddie Plunkett.
Thank you, Mayor. Month of September, we had 239 ton of trash, 95 ton of brush. We fixed to start running leaf trucks. We like to ask everybody to put their leaves out and do not bag those leaves. We'll be running routes just like all the other trucks, but we don't know what days we will be running those routes. We'll just run it when we got the manpower to do so. Interviewed 7 last week and got 1 hired out of the 7. So if you know anybody needs a job, tell them to come on. We'd like to ask everybody to get their carts out, garbage carts out with the lids closed to the street. And quick as trash is run, pull them back off the street. And that's my report.
Any questions, Mr. Plunkett? Thank you, sir. Planning Codes, Ms. Christy Gentry.
Thank you, Mayor. 8 permits were issued in September. The total project valuation was $568,029.18. The total permit fees was $1,779. Wanted to give you a year-to-date permit report through the end of the 3rd quarter. We've issued a total of 146 permits in 2022. The total project valuation was $24,413,438, and the total permit fees collected was $72,479. We've had several big expansions this year, 2 copper weld expansions, then Dunkin' Donuts, of course, and then the tidal wave project. So we've had quite a bit of development in several residential homes as well. We've tentatively set a date for the Contractors Forum for Thursday, November the 17th. This will be an informative session for local contractors on licensing and workman's comp insurance. This will be an evening session, and more details and information will be shared in the coming weeks on our website and Facebook pages. On property maintenance, 2 court hearings were held on September the 29th. One of them involved the old concrete plant. It was continued. We are going to do a site visit at the end of the week with Mr. Hill and some of their representatives to get a plan of action on continuing on property maintenance on that site. The other case was the Radio City Trailer Park on Swanson Boulevard. They failed to show up for their hearing, so there is currently a fine being imposed upon that property, and it will do so until they come into compliance. Ms. Jill Smith is working on studying for her property maintenance certification exam. And then Mr. Jack Williams did pass his residential plumbing certification, and he only has 3 exams left to be fully certified in his position. At the September Planning Commission, we held officer elections. Eric Jones was elected chairman. Ms. Ravina Wade is our vice chairman, and Dr. Mike Harry is now our secretary. We did a minor plat approval for the tidal wave subdivision. We did a site plan approval for an addition at the Sunshine Daycare Center, and we did a minor plat on the county property down here at the corner of Wilson Parkway and Main Avenue South. Mr. Joseph Denby also had a minor plat He combined some lots together, and he will be bringing back a site plan to do a quadplex development at the corner of Robertson and Lincoln Avenue South. And then wanted to do a quick update on the home grant. Ms. Tia Lockridge stated that they have completed the home grant home assessments and are awaiting the approval from the state. They do have their lead-based paint inspectors lined up and hope to be doing some bidding by the end of this month to get those projects underway. Lastly, wanted to remind everybody that we're gearing up for the 30th annual Host to Christmas Past. It's coming up on November 11th and 12th. Our mascot, Lincoln the reindeer, will be lighting the tree this year. We will have the brochure out in a couple of weeks, and the sponsors will begin to be featured on the Host Christmas Past Facebook page beginning tomorrow. That's my report.
Okay, any questions, Ms. Gentry?
Thank you.
I'll go to City Administrator's report, Mr. Kevin Owens.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Board of Aldermen, the residents, as well as staff. You have received my report, my written report, but I do have two items I would like to bring to your attention. The first one is we did receive a total of $8,876 from our drug-free workplace training. It is an additional amount that came to us in late September, and I did want to announce to the board about that money that came to us. And my second point of the night, I do want to say this. I do want to, and I cannot make this announcement without first thanking our Commander Jesse, as well as our Commander Kobe, who is not here today, as well as the whole entire Fayetteville Police Department. In my tenure, they have kept up the police department and held it quite well. As of today, we are completing the hiring requirements for our new police chief, Mr. Barry Pendergraft, and I think he wanted to say a word, so if I can allow a minute of my time for Mr. Pendergraft to speak, that will be a part of my report.
Thank you, folks. I just wanted to take a second to thank the mayor, the board, and Mr. Owens for the warm reception I've received, the confidence that you've given me and you have in me to lead our department into the future, and I look forward to serving you folks and the citizens of Fayetteville. Thank you.
Mr. Owen, you have anything left in your report? Do you have anything left in your report?
No, that concludes. Thank you.
All right, any questions, Mr. Owens? Okay, we don't have any unfinished business. We'll go into new business. These items were discussed, with the exception of what the item we had on the proclamation were discussed in committee meetings and work session last week. So item A is purchase of new tables and chairs for the recreation center. I need a motion and a second to approve the purchase of tables and chairs for an amount not to exceed $9,697.36.
Motion to approve, Mayor.
Second, Mr. Martinez. Any discussion?
I just ask again where the funds are being taken from. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other discussion? Have them call the roll, please.
Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Alder?
Aye.
Ms. Hartman?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Mr. Bryant?
Aye.
Ms. Allen? Aye.
Pass item B, North Main Avenue Drainage Project Funding Recommendation. Motion and second to move, to approve that this project will be paid from the bond. That's my understanding.
That's right. Mr. Mayor, I move we approve that come to bond issue.
Second.
Second, Alderman Small. Any discussion? Have them call the roll, please.
Mr. Alderman?
Aye.
Ms. Hartman?
Aye.
I'm sorry.
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Mr. Bryant?
Aye.
Ms. Allen? Aye. Ms. Small?
Aye.
And pass item C, Dunroman Drainage Project Funding Recommendation. Motion and second to approve that this comes from the bond issue as well.
So move, Mr. Mayor.
Second?
Second.
Second, Alderman
Go
Small. In discussion? Pam, call the roll, please.
Ms. Hartman?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Mr. Bryant?
Aye.
Ms. Allen? Aye. Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Alder?
Aye.
Item pass. Item D, Don Davidson Park Electrical Work. A motion and second to approve the change order 01 for the amount of $19,506.00.
Motion to approve, Mayor.
Second.
Second.
Second, Ms. Martinez. Any discussion?
I do have a discussion on the, this amount, Mayor. Was this, do we have a consultant that's watching over this bond? Or, I know this came in, and it was in, the way I understood it in the work session, was it how the bidder responded with his bid and left out the tax?
Yes, ma'am. Allow me to address it. So when the original bid went out in April, it was a clause, and the bidder bid it without the sales tax in it. It was a clause in there that says prices should be submitted without sales tax. And of course, we found out through state law that that was not necessarily so. So that's why this amount is included today.
But didn't we hire someone to help us with this spending of the ARPA funds?
We do have a consultant, yes.
Okay. So they didn't advise us anyway on this, whether to do it this way, or the bidder said anything we could have changed to avoid this cost to us?
So my understanding is that the consultant did not understand the Tennessee law part of it. The consultant is actually out of Alabama, did not understand that this had to be included within the bid.
We talked about this quite a bit. I had questions on this too. And Kevin called me and explained it all to me. If we were buying the material ourselves here in Tennessee, then we wouldn't have to pay tax. But with a contractor, the material being in with the contractor's bid, that's where that came up at. Right?
That's correct.
Right. So the contractor does have to pay tax. And we had quite a bit of discussion on this, I'll say that.
Anything else? Pam, call the roll, please.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Mr. Bryant?
Aye.
Ms. Allen? Aye. Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Auburn?
Aye.
Ms. Hartman?
No.
Item passed. Item E, Fayetteville City School System Pay Request JBHM number 8, Gym Safe Room Project. There's two items. This will be an E and F. The first is in a motion, second to approve the Fayetteville City's school system invoice amount of $6,000. As I mentioned, this all just is a pass-through since we're facilitating the grant, but the city school system pays the amounts on these invoices.
Motion to approve. Second.
Any discussion? Pam, call the roll, please.
Mr. Bryant?
Aye.
Ms. Allen? Aye. Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Auburn?
Aye.
Ms. Hartman?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
That passed. Item F, this is for Brodus, invoice number 11 for an amount of $19,388.51. Motion, please.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Second, Ms. Allen. Any discussion? Pam, call the roll, please.
Ms. Allen? Aye. Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Auburn?
Aye.
Ms. Hartman?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Mr. Bryant?
Aye.
That item passed. Item G, ordinance 2022-14, City of Fayetteville FY23 budget amendment number 1. We had that discussed the other day and have it on your iPad. Any motion and second to approve?
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Second, Alderman Hartman. Any discussion? Pam, call the roll, please.
Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Auburn?
Aye.
Ms. Hartman?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Mr. Bryant?
Aye.
Ms. Allen? Aye.
That item passed. Item I, Resolution R 2022-10, submit and accept TDEC ARPA funds for Fayetteville Public Utilities for an amount of $1,470,191.96. The FPU will be responsible for the 15% match. We facilitate that per the law and how these funds are allocated through the state. They have to be used for water and sewer wastewater improvements. That is the restrictions on the amount. Motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? Pam, call the roll, please.
Mr. Auburn?
Aye.
Ms. Hartman?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Mr. Bryant?
Aye.
Ms. Allen? Aye. Ms. Small?
Aye.
That item passed. Item J, Resolution R 2022-11, approval of surety bonds for city officials. This is something that's in our charter, it's stated for several officials. I think mainly we're doing this for Ms. Owen and Mr. Owens as new members. So we need a motion, a second.
Motion to approve, Mayor.
Alderman Hartman.
Second.
Second, Alderman Allen. Any discussion? Pam, call the roll, please.
Ms. Hartman?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Mr. Bryant?
Aye.
Ms. Allen? Aye. Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Oliver?
Yeah, item passed. Item K, animal control contract. This is a motion and second to approve a proposed month-to-month contract agreement with the county and the Humane Society contingent on approval of the county and the Humane Society. So discussed the other day in work session, there was a meeting among attorney from, I was out of town last week, but attorney representing Humane Society, Mary Newman, Mr. Owens, and Mr. Hill to discuss those things that they requested to talk about last month. Need a motion and a second, please.
Make a
Mayor,
motion
I'll
to
move to
approve the contract.
Second.
Second, Mr. Martinez. Any discussion?
One thing, would this be prorated? Would they get their funds for last month to get, I mean, would it be one lump
It would
sum?
start October would cover October, and we would go from month to month, but we are moving ahead to try to put a full one in place.
Yeah, let me also say, there's a bit spread in the paper on that. It said they would be getting $600-something a month.
6,000.
6,000 something is what it is.
62.50.
So that in the paper is wrong. They don't get $600-something a month. They get 6,000 and.
Well, actually, it'd be 12, right? From city and county?
Yes, sir.
It's
It
12.
would be
12,
6,000 from each.
Yeah, from each. So look kind of bad, $600-something. So, yeah, about times
12 pounds.
representatives here, so I kind of pass that on. I believe I'm right on that. You can double check me.
Any further discussion?
So this is all contingent on the other two parties agreeing to this. It's just our board, what we're willing to do.
I think it's willing to all three parties in agreement, correct, Mr. Owens?
Yes, sir. It has so far gone to the county's finance committee. It'll be officially approved at their commission meeting on next week, but it is contingent on all three as a three-party contract.
Pam, call the roll, please.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Mr. Bryant?
Aye.
Ms. Allen? Aye. Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Oliver?
Aye.
Ms. Hartman?
Aye.
That all passed. Thank you. We'll go to item L, trunk and treat event permit for October 26th. This is for the Washington Street Church of Christ event that evening. Need a motion, a second, please.
Move to approve.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? Pam, call the roll, please.
Mr. Bryant?
Aye.
Ms. Allen? Aye. Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Oliver?
Aye.
Ms. Hartman?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
That item passed. Item M, Fear Not Fest event permit. This is a Halloween event that is annual at the First Baptist Church parking lot on October 31st, 2022. I need a motion, second, to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Pam, call the roll, please.
Ms. Allen? Aye. Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Oliver?
Aye.
Ms. Hartman?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Mr. Bryant?
Aye.
That item passed. Item N, Host of Christmas Past event permit, November 11th and 12th, 2022. This is our annual, our biggest event of the year. So we need a motion, second, to approve the event permit.
So move.
Second.
Second, Alderman Hartman. Any discussion? Pam, call the roll, please.
Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Oliver?
Aye.
Ms. Hartman?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Mr. Bryant?
Aye.
Ms. Allen? Aye.
That item passed. So we'll go, then we have O, we added this. So there was an event the other day to honor Claudia Mae Taylor Donaldson. The family came, and that was a very nice event. I hate that I missed that. But Alderman Small asked, she read a proclamation that I put together from information provided by the family. So she'd like me to read this. This is City of Fayetteville proclamation, a proclamation to recognize Claudia Mae Taylor Donaldson. Whereas the Women of Lincoln County Committee has chosen to honor the life of Claudia Mae Taylor Donaldson, and whereas Claudia May Taylor was born in Fayetteville on April 13th, 1916, the only child of Jesse and Mary Lacey Taylor. And whereas Claudia May Taylor attended public schools in Fayetteville, earned a Bachelor of Science degree at Tennessee State University in Nashville, and attended graduate studies at Alabama A&M University in Huntsville. And whereas in 1944, Claudia May Taylor married Dr. Latha Mitchell Donaldson, a prominent Fayetteville physician, surgeon, and hospital administrator. And whereas Claudia May Taylor Donaldson retired in 1969 with 30 years teaching in the Fayetteville and Lincoln County school systems. And whereas Claudia May Taylor Donaldson served as a dietitian for Donaldson Hospital, which was founded by her husband and later became Donaldson Nursing Home. And whereas Claudia May Taylor Donaldson, baptized at an early age, was a lifelong member of Fayetteville St. Paul AME Church, where she served as trustee, vice president of the Women's Missionary Society and Laymen's Organization and the Kitchen Committee. And whereas Claudia May Taylor Donaldson was active in the community with membership in the Tennessee Retired Teachers Association, NAACP, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority, the Advisory Board of First National Bank, Fayetteville Lincoln County Child Development Center, Lincoln Medical Center Auxiliary, Lincoln County Historical Society, Hannah's House, the R.F. Boyd Auxiliary at Meharry Medical Hospital, and a volunteer hostess at the Fayetteville Lincoln County Museum and Civic Center. Whereas Claudia May Taylor Donaldson enjoyed traveling, gardening, reading, refinishing furniture, and needlework. Whereas Claudia May Taylor Donaldson died October 2nd, 2007. And whereas Claudia May Taylor Donaldson is honored today as an influential Lincoln County woman, now therefore be it resolved by authority vested in me as mayor of the city of Fayetteville that we honor the life and service of Claudia May Taylor Donaldson for her contributions in making our community and the world a better place. Be it further resolved that this proclamation of respect and esteem be presented to the family of Claudia May Taylor Donaldson, signed this the 6th day of October in the year 2022. I get a motion, a second, to approve this and add this to our minutes.
So moved.
Second. Second.
Any discussion? Pam, take the roll, please.
Mr. Alderman?
Aye.
Ms. Hartman?
Aye.
Martinez?
Aye.
Bryant?
Aye.
Ms. Allen? Aye. Ms. Small?
Aye.
That item passed. That closes our new business. I will go to closing comments and start with Alderman Jeff Alter.
Just want to say congratulations to our new firefighter, Ms. Smith, and I also want to say a big thank you to FPU, to all those volunteers that always go out and help when it's a hurricane or whatever might come up in other communities, so appreciate that.
Mr. Bryant?
Well, I want to welcome our new police chief, so look forward to moving forward with that opening being filled, and that's all I've got.
Ms. Small?
I too want to welcome Chief Pendergrass and want to wish everyone a safe Halloween. Be careful out there.
Alderman Hartman?
Yes, I would just like to report to the board that the Main Street Teen Board will be visiting for their local government day here in the auditorium on October the 20th at 1:30. And if any of the aldermen and mayor, if you could come to, we may just have 2 or 3 that's able to come that day because it's in the middle of the day, but to kind of give these teens insight on how we operate here in the city. And welcome Leadership Lincoln Teen Board. Glad that y'all are here tonight, learning about local government. Congratulations to the firefighter that was sworn in tonight. And Chief Pendergrass, welcome aboard. We're happy to have you.
Thank you. Mr. Martinez?
I'm good.
Ms. Allen?
I think everything's just about been covered, but I do want to say welcome to Chief Pendergrass and look forward to meeting you and spending time with you.
We do want to welcome our Youth Leadership Lincoln class. Looks like there's a good number of students, and wish you well. You'll learn a lot more than you think that you'll ever know. And then hopefully when you're adults, you'll take the Leadership Lincoln program that some of us have completed and graduated over the years. I would like to read a letter that we received. A lot of times people always have concerns about our finances and our audits and everything, but on September 21st, 2022, we received a letter from the Tennessee Comptroller of the Treasury We are pleased to present you with the enclosed certificate recognizing the hard work and commitment of your local officials, including budget and finance staff, to operate your government with a sound financial plan. The certificate is being awarded based on the following criteria. Your budget was adopted on or before the fiscal year end. Your budget was filed with our office within 15 days of adoption. No issues of concern were raised during our review of the budget. And your local government is not currently under the oversight of the Water and Wastewater Financing Board or Utility Management Review Board. Thank you for your contribution to making government work better. We recognize the importance of managing public finances in a responsible manner and encourage local officials to keep up the good work. So congratulations to all our staff and board for all they do each year for us to have a good, not only budget, but audit. We have a big football game Friday night here at the city. Our undefeated Tigers are going against Red Bank, which is number 4 in 4A. And so I encourage everybody to come out. That's going to be a great game. And after that, there's one more home game next week against Huntland before they enter the playoffs. So I'll wish everybody a happy rest of the month of October and safe travels. And we'll adjourn this meeting and come back in November.